Good afternoon, everyone. I am happy to be here. It is Give to the Max Day launch day. We are here in this special habitat. It's empty right now, but we're here to introduce you to two very special tigers that you guys have not ever had a chance to meet in person. So first, Give to the Max is our biggest giving time of the year in Minnesota, but you don't have to be in Minnesota to give. Your gifts will be doubled, so 50 becomes 100, 100 becomes 200, and our goal, always during Give to the Max these 2 weeks, is to raise 4 months of operating costs. So you can give at this post, you can give at the Facebook fundraiser, you can give at our website or by calling, but the really fun news is that we are going to meet 2 witness protection cats that are finally legally residents of the Wildcat Sanctuary. So let's see if they'll come out. Come on, buddy. Hi, handsome dude. Yeah. Hi, handsome. Are you up at the building?
It's time.
Let's go. And you got to let your girl out. All right, Mr. Terek and Polina, here he comes. Trying to find a good spot in the fence. So this is Terek. He's heading out first. Terek is a big, big boy. As you know, we have several cats in our witness protection program at a given time. And so many of them are here for several years before we can share them with you. And that is the case with this handsome guy, Mr. Terek. So what are you doing? So Terek is one of the biggest cats on our property. Terek's been with us along with his partner for several years. So there's not a lot we can say about their background or case, but what's important is that they get to live the rest of their lives here at the sanctuary. Terek, are you going to just show us your back? Let's see, handsome. So Terek is, I would say if you remember Tonka, hi, handsome. Terek is about the size of Tonka, but even taller. So when we get witness protection cats, sometimes we don't know even their sex or their age. We did know their sexes. We do not know if Terek and Polina are related, but they do not appear to be based on physical stature and physical characteristics. They were, just like many, come to us from a legal case. That was because the animals were not receiving what they needed, whether that be veterinary care, cruelty, neglect. But that's about all we can say about them individually or their backgrounds. And here comes Miss Polina. She is hiding behind the platform there, so when she makes herself a little more known, we'll get a better look at her. But what's so special about these two is that they have been here for quite some time, and you know, we get emotionally attached just like you do. And the hard thing is, if that case goes the wrong way, then that means animals can go back to where they came from. Luckily right now, these animals are going to be forever here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and we get to share who they are and how well they've blossomed. Terek is a sweet, sweet, gentle giant. You can see he's got a lot of white on him, so most likely he might carry the white gene and he was being used for breeding. But he will not be bred here. He's already been neutered. He's had his intake exam. And other than that, being a big boy, definitely some skull, the skull, what we see is diamonding of the skull, we like to say, which is an inbred trait. He's doing pretty well. His partner, Polina, on the other hand, is the one who needed a lot of medical care, and she is in the back there. Polina is probably half of his size, but she's checking out the enrichment. And she's, like I say, she really picks her humans, and she picks the time of day she wants to come say hello. But these two get along really, really well. So if you're just joining us, we're the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. We have revealed two of our witness protection cats. I know many of you have asked, are these Tiger King park cats? And the answer is no. This is a different case that we finally have gained custody of these animals. And so we can't say a lot about their background based on the settlement of the case, but the happy ending is they get to live their lives here at the sanctuary. So we are estimating them at 6 and 8 years old. We do not have ages on them. So that is just an estimation based on what we've seen. But there was no background information on age when we received them from the court case. So I can tell you that you'll learn a little bit more of this rescue that we can share, but it was part of this rescue was a long drive that Judson and I took, and a moment's notice. It was many thousands of miles, and we will tell you more about that next week. And so what Terek's doing here is he is just a silly man. He's very calm. He chuffs. He likes to turn over his pools and drag them around. I'm surprised he's left them alone. Polina is a little more, I wouldn't say shy. She just likes to kind of have her own space. She really likes humans in the morning and on rounds, but otherwise during the day, she can often be found perched just like she is up on one of her tall habitats. So Polina, I wish she would come say hello, but she's letting Terek get all of the good stuff. Polina had a little more going on. When Polina arrived, the little girl, we could tell that her facial structure was not normal. She definitely has not a lot of structure in her lower jaw, very lower jaw. She was breathing open mouth a lot. And we were able to get court approval to do a CT scan and a scope, and found that she had elongated soft palate, as well as not having the normal skull structure of a tiger. Oh, that was some good enrichment. And so she went back for another scope and realized the soft palate wasn't causing the breathing issues, that the soft palate and other things were causing severe acid reflux, which is causing those breathing issues. So since she's been treated for that, she has not been open mouth breathing at all. We still have dehumidifiers in her enclosure and air conditioning because we know humidity was getting worse for her. But all that customized care and a lot of vet work and ultrasounds and MRIs and CTs and everything she got was definitely well worth it. And of course, these two were a breeding pair when they came. And so that's always a challenge with witness protection cats, because we can get approval to give oral birth control so that we don't have cubs being born while we're holding them in a court case. And that's what we did here. And when they became legally, permanently ours, we were able to neuter Mr. Terek. We have not spayed Polina yet. She does now have an implant. That'll be scheduled in the spring or summer next year. So just reminding everybody, it's Give to the Max Day. You can give. Your gifts are doubled now through the 18th. You can give at this bit.ly. It is the best time to give. We're trying to raise 4 months of operating, and today we are kicking off 2 weeks of Give to the Max Day, and the Lions are joining in, and so is Mr. Terek's chuff.
Tammy, it's interesting. We put out beef pieces and tuna, but the tuna has been left behind, and Terek seems to really
so
like the beef pieces.
Terek's a tiger. He said, yeah, why would I go after tuna? Well, we can also see, since Polina's hanging back, I know they haven't had mealtime yet, and so we got flaming response there from Mr. Terek. But we can see, too, if we can observe a feeding time, and if Polina wants to come up. I do know they do really well. Somebody's asking when is Dash's birthday. It's at the end of November, so all the way after Give to the Max.
Hey, do you think that we would be able to feed Polina?
So you'll see when our caretakers come, we have strict COVID protocol right now. If you've been watching around the country, there are zoos left and right with big cats being positive. Sadly, a snow leopard lost its life, a lion lost its life, and several lions were critical. So we are taking every precaution. So that means when our caretakers feed or close to the cats, they're wearing N95 masks, face shields, and gloves. So I'll be doing the talking for the caretakers because it's very hard to interview when they're in all their PPE. Of course, Judson and I are also masked with N95 masks, and we are staying 6 feet away from the cats at the best of our ability to ensure that we could never spread COVID. Our animal care staff is also fully vaccinated. Anything we can do to protect the cats because they cannot protect themselves. So Terek is over here waiting for a meal, but let's get a really close look at our girlfriend Polina now. Hi, beautiful. So I'm going to stay behind Rio here. And you can see, sadly, the tips of her ears were frostbit off at some point. And you can see that she has a very different facial structure than most tigers, but she's still beautiful in our eyes. Definitely beautiful. And she is, like I would say, I was talking Rio a little bit, she's social to people, but in a very different way. She really chooses her moments. But you can see she's calm, being fed here. She's sitting down nicely. And she hasn't had any breathing issues recently. Now, somebody told me if you follow another sanctuary, they used to have a white tiger named Sabu, and the facial structure is very similar. So that elongated soft palate, if you don't know what it is, it's similar to like a bulldog, or those dogs that, have heavy breathing, snore a lot, and really don't do well in humid and warm temperatures. And so that is not something normal for a tiger. We do not see that. This is our first case, and it was very hard to find another case of a tiger with elongated soft palate. You can go in and clip those, but the challenge is what is the perfect length, and then realizing that that wasn't the issue that was causing her breathing. It was that acid reflux, and it can be hard to see that an acid reflux causes breathing issues, but it does. A lot of people breathe heavily with acid reflux. They cough even with it. And so we're glad we were able to find that out. But she eats really well. Another signature thing about Polina is her whiskers. Her whiskers actually hang tight upwards on her face versus out. Right now, as she's eating, it might look intentional, but it's actually just her look. And we'll go see Terek too, but it's nice to have a chance to see Polina. So if you're just joining us, we're the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. We just revealed 2 of our Witness Protection Program cats. If you don't know what the Witness Protection Program is, it is that many cats are seized due to legal action, cruelty to neglect, illegal ownership, things like that. And during the court case, it can last 2 to 4 years on a court case to determine if there's charges brought against the owner, if there's a voluntary surrender, or if there's a seizure, and then the court makes the final disposition of where the animals go. And luckily in this case, it was ruled that the cats became custody of the Wildcat Sanctuary after several years, but there still are other things pending in the case, which means we can't talk about their backgrounds. But to me, the most important thing, and I think Terek might come over here and bop his little girlfriend in the head. He likes to do that. The most important thing is it's about their future. It's about the several years they've been in here when we couldn't share them with you, and that they were getting all the attention, vet care, individualized care by the caretakers that every resident you know about gets. And so we just thank you for everybody who's ever given to Monthly Pride or a general donation, because that allows us to have several big cats in the Witness Protection Program that need us just as much as those that were permanent residents. And also, a double bonus, these guys need sponsors. So if you sponsor Miss Polina here, or Terek, it'll also count for Give to the Max Day. So you'll pay your full sponsorship, whether it be monthly or annual, and then generous donors will give us operating funds that match your sponsorship. Sponsorship of these guys are $50 monthly or $600 per year. Polina, I just am so impressed, and thank you for allowing us to have so much time with you. Polina, on the one side, you can see she's still a little stomach shaven because that was from some of her ultrasounds. Now it's grooming time. So these guys, Judson will actually give a video out tomorrow of Polina's story, and you'll get to see the unloading. These guys came in the middle of the night, and we were not going to say no. We actually all stayed and kind of pulled an overnight and made sure that they got into their new safe rooms and safe places. They both settled in quite quickly and quite well. And they've been perfect neighbors. So if you want to know where they're living currently at the sanctuary, they're living right next to Shazam on a shared wall. And as you guys all know, Shazam the black leopard absolutely loves big cats. And they've just been wonderful neighbors to each other. Now, Callie was next door before she went in for her medical procedure. Now she's in quarantine right now. Callie is a little bit more Callie. She's giving them a run for her money, their money. So I would love to hear, what do you guys think of Terek and Polina? Does Terek remind you of any other tiger we've had here at the sanctuary? Some people have said he reminded them of Tonka because he's got that big diamond-shaped skull. He's very tall. If you remember Layla, she was an older female. She had a lot of white on her, like Terek does. So even though they all resemble maybe cats that we've seen before, there's no two alike. Their personalities are distinctly different. Their medical needs, how they like to eat, what they like to play with, each are a true individual. So let's walk over and see Miss Polina. Hi. Hi. Did we get a hello? Well, thank you. So it's grooming time here. If you just joined us, it's Give to the Max Day, and we know so many of you give all year long. It's actually Give to the Max, sorry. And there's some really special things about Give to the Max. Not only is your gift doubled now through November 18th, but everybody that gives a $100 gift or more gets a paw print of Big Boy Terek. And I think this is going to be the biggest paw print you've received so far if you have a collection. And a photo card of Terek, our witness protection tiger revealed. And then everybody that donates, no matter what amount, gets entered into a caretaker experience. And that means you'll get chosen, a drawing, and somebody will get chosen to come get to experience what the caretakers do every day. You'll get to meet your favorite residents, meet these new witness protection cats, Terek and Polina. And so there's so many incentives to give. But we also know just doubling your gift is usually incentive enough to make your gift go twice as far. So we'll see if Paulina's going to go back in her room. Looks like she's heading back to the building. And Terek's going to hang out a little bit. So I know people are asking their ages and weights. So we've estimated them at 6 and 8, but honestly, it's just an estimate. We have no paperwork on how old these cats were. We have no really information if they're related or not. We do not believe they're related since they were intact and breeding. Somebody asked, is he as big as Logan and Caesar? Not as tall, but if you think of how Tonka was built, he's a block. So he definitely has the structure, and a bigger head, but not as tall as Logan. And then if you guys remember Lily, the tiger that lived with Titan and Lily, Polina's about the size of Lily. So she's probably on our smaller side of all of our tigers here. So I know somebody just asked again how old they are. We're averaging them 6 and 8 years old, but we have no information. We were not given any birth dates or any ages. So we're just making educated guesses. And that is the hardest thing about rescue. You don't always have information where these animals come from. There's a lot of usually no records or spotty records. Your donation, if you give on this live post, is doubled today, but it's also doubled through November 18th. So definitely give now, give through November 18th. If you get that $100 or more, we will mail you out a Terek paw print and photo card. If you live internationally, we'll definitely email you that. We can't mail internationally, but it is a great keepsake. How many of you guys have had the paw prints and collections from the last few years? Over the last years, I know last year was Shanti Diva, Mohan was one, Daisy was one. I know so many of you are starting to get those paw print collections. And we actually, Polina just stopped halfway inside to groom more in the sun. She's back behind the wooded tree. So if you're just joining us, we're introducing you to tigers Terek and Polina. These are two of our witness protection cats revealed. They have been in our care and the case has been ongoing for several years. And we're thankful that they are now legally ours and we can share with you their life here at the sanctuary. We're still cautious of sharing anything about their background because there are still some pending legal actions to the case and we never want to impede a case for any reason. So you can give at the link, you can give at this bit.ly, it's an easy way to give. If you go to wildcatsanctuary.org, there's ways to give. Judson will remind you all week long and next week for 2 weeks till the 18th. And then you want to tune in on November 18th. That is actually our Give to the Max day where we'll be bringing you behind the scenes live posts 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. just like we have in years past. It's where you get to really learn the behind the scenes and the individualized care that each cat like Terek and Polina receive here. So guess who Terek has an eye out for? His caretaker with the food bucket.
What a great way to end.
So Terek's gonna get a nice big treat. And thank you guys for being our welcoming committee to welcome Terek and Polina to their forever home. Even though they've been here for several months, it really feels like home once we get to share them all with you. And once you guys get to see just how amazing these witness protection cats revealed are. So thank you, Terek. Thank you, Polina. The world finally gets to meet amazing tigers that we've known for quite some time.